Hello. Hello. Welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan. And yeah, we're going early today. We've got a bit of spare time today, so yeah, thought we'd go early on the stream. 2 hours to go till deadline, just under, technically. I still haven't made my transfers yet. I still haven't made them, which is interesting. But there's lots of things to cover. Quite a lot of news came in today around the world of FPL. It's all going to be down at the ticker at the bottom if you want to catch it. Of course, we'll be speaking about a lot of the things anyway. So yeah, hopefully there'll be lots of good conversation today. We'll do some polls. We'll do the bench list. We'll do all of the usual stuff. So yeah, thank you for joining me nice and early. Will any of you stay for the full 2 hours? I don't know. Maybe you will. But yeah. Happy Thursday. We're getting closer to Christmas. Some people breaking up from work today. Some people tomorrow in the UK. Yeah, if you're still at work for the last half an hour, if you're maybe UK based or Ireland based, joining me for the last few hours before work finishes, then yeah, make sure you do work. But have one eye on the stream, but also make sure you do your work. You don't want to get fired over FPL, really, do you? I mean, it'd be a good way to go, but yeah, not sure. Let's have a look in the chat and, say hello to everyone. So, JJ, what's up, mate? Ed says 2 hours will fly by. Yes, they certainly will. BR Strange, is it time to say goodbye to Isaac? Well, that's an interesting question I'm sure we're going to talk about today. Mohammed says Show Team Gang. Nice to see a couple of Show Team Gang members in here nice and early. Usually you guys don't appear until the end of the stream, so yeah, it's just good to have you here, Show Team Gang, and the Don't Show Team Gang as well, the Show Seam Gang, and yeah, everyone else just like that. So yeah, if you look at my team on screen, guys, you may have noticed that I haven't made any transfers yet. I spoke about a couple of potential transfers in yesterday's video. I think I'm growing increasingly concerned about when Erling Haaland is going to be back, because Erling Haaland is still not trained. So is he going to actually be back for the new game week? I'm not sure he is. I mean, if we look at game week 19 fixtures, it's in 5 days time. He hasn't trained. Is 5 days going to be a little bit soon for him? Everton away, not even a great fixture really. And is it going to be a little bit too soon for him? Will he be eased in, perhaps? Will he play, a limited amount of minutes in that game? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know whether part of me wants to keep my options open. I know I mentioned in yesterday's video that if I want to get Erling Haaland back into my team immediately without taking any hits, then I can't spend any of my money. I need to leave money in the bank, which means I can't make any upgrades. I can't even make any sideways transfers. I've got to downgrade someone. I've got to free up 0.3 million if I want to get Haaland back into my team about here. So it's a really interesting one. I think it could go either way. I think it's absolutely fine to go for either tactic. I think it's absolutely fine to try and leave money in the bank. And I think it's absolutely fine to kind of take that risk on him not playing, or not playing many minutes at least. And just see how things go. Spend that Haaland money and maybe look at a Salah to Haaland move in a double transfer in a couple of weeks' time, when obviously Salah goes off to AFCON, or maybe even game week 20 when Salah plays against Newcastle in 20. That's not a great fixture either. So there's a potential there. So maybe make the move in game week 20 for a double transfer, double switch. You can definitely see the appeal of that one. I think definitely for me personally, the best move is going to be to get an Aston Villa defender. And like Pau Torres, by the way, confirmed out. He's confirmed out, so he's not going to play in game week 18, which is bad news for anyone who went early on Pau Torres. I think there's quite a lot of people who did do that. Let's have a look and have an exact look and see what happened there. But yeah, I think it's quite a lot. Let's see here. Well, okay, maybe not a crazy amount. 58,000 people already brought in Pau Torres early. That's disappointing. I think certainly Conce's stock has just rocketed since then, hasn't he? Yeah, Conce now more transfers in. Cheaper as well, 4.5. And his numbers aren't, that much different to Pau Torres either, if you look at the underlying numbers. So, yeah, I think Pau Torres is a solid shout. And I do think Matty Cash's chance of starting this game week have significantly improved. So if you've somehow managed to hold on to Cash all this time, I mean, no, I haven't. I sold him last week. But if you have, it could be an opportunity. It could genuinely be a nice opportunity for Cash owners. I mean, fair play. getting rewarded for holding cash. I guess if you've kept cash for this long, you're probably you're deserving of a little bit of a reward, right? But at the same time, no clean sheets are guaranteed. Is it really worth a defensive transfer? Looking at my team, I'm not particularly happy with Gabriel. I could play out Nori. Wouldn't be particularly happy about that one either. I think they're both fine. They're like okay picks, but they're nothing special, particularly this game week. Yes, it's not ideal. It's really not ideal. So, yeah, do I make the Gusto move? It would be fun. It's an exciting move, and it's a move I would enjoy making. Do I have a bit of fun with this one, and do I Nori to Gusto and start him? I don't know. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Be interested to get your thoughts on that one. Got a few questions in the chat already. Let's whiz through some of these. Yishan Lim says, Dan, can you suggest me to sell Isak or Nunez for Watkins? I think Isak is possibly the player to sell because Nunez plays against Burnley next game week. And Isak is a little riskier. He is a little riskier. But it should be said that Isak, and I can see loads of you guys asking about Isak. I guess I'm kind of the Isak guy at the moment, aren't I? Because nobody else, certainly in the FPL content creation sphere, no one else really owns Isak. So, yeah, I mean, it could be just copium from me. But I'm going to say a similar thing that I said last week. And that's that Wilson has played a ridiculous amount of minutes recently. That's not something he typically does. Gordon, you know, he is going to need to get some rest at some point or another. Newcastle are missing Joelinton as well. He came off injured, hamstring injury for him in the midweek. It does sort of suggest that if there is no new injury for Isak, and that's what we're being told, no, there's no new injury for Isak, he's got to come in, right? He's got to play. He has to play. I mean, I said, you know, it's very likely that he'll play last game week because Wilson had just played a lot of minutes. But now Wilson's played even more minutes. He's now played, I mean, how many minutes has he played over the last 10 days? 270 minutes? You know, he's played full games in every game, which is not usual. It's not typical for a player returning from injury. And I think he will need to be protected to a degree. There will be rotation between Isak and Wilson. We know that. It is going to happen. And in general, would I be buying Isak or Wilson? No, I wouldn't be buying either of them. But I do think Isak comes back in. As long as there really, truthfully, is no new injury and he has just simply been rested recently, then I don't see why he wouldn't come in. I really don't. And Newcastle fans seem to be in agreement on that one as well. A lot of Newcastle fans are predicting Isak to start. Some people saying he's going to start through the middle. Some people saying he's going to start on the left wing. But the common theme among Newcastle fans is that Isak will start. I don't know if we've got any Newcastle fans in right now who are willing to weigh in. What is your thoughts? What's your feeling? Because everything I've seen so far suggests that Isak is likely to play. But if there's things going on in the background, and given that you've not even been in the squad for the last 2 games for Newcastle, yeah, it does worry me a little bit. It does worry me a little bit. So, yeah, not sure. What did you guys say about the Gusto move? Did anyone have anything to say about that one? Well, Scott Speed says, play out Nori over Gabriel. The upside is there. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, Nori has the better attacking threat, doesn't he? Which is interesting, at the very least. Donovan says, Dan, you still in the cup? Nope, I am not. Horror game week last week. Yeah, and I came up against a pro as well. Someone with an insanely good team. So, unfortunate. I took hits as well, so it's never really helpful. But yes, De Gusto, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think few people asked about Gordon as well. There's no news on Gordon, sadly. There's no news. I think what I would do with Gordon is I probably wouldn't take a hit to remove him. And there's very few players I'd actually bring in. I'd bring in Gordon. If I didn't have Gordon already, I would consider bringing in Palmer. I'd consider bringing in Palmer for Gordon for a free. I'd do Richarlison in for Gordon for a free, I think, for my own peace of mind. But I don't think it's worth a hit. Just that small chance that he does play, I don't, is it even a small chance? It's probably like 50-50. I don't think it's worth a hit. And it's only worth a transfer if you're bringing in a player who's genuinely looking really good at the moment. Like a Richarlison or like a Palmer. So, yeah, that's probably what I would say on that one. Up the Toon says he will play, I believe, 80% start. So that's on Isak. So that's okay. It's nice to hear from Newcastle fans saying that you do reckon he is going to start. I mean, I think so too, but I was wrong about that last game week, so I'm not going to speak it as if it's, you know, absolute truth. There is a if you still own Isak, there is a significant risk, but I think the risk is smaller now than it was, than perhaps we thought it was, well, last week, before the last game week deadline. I mean, but yeah, he should start, right? He should start. He's had loads of rest. I mean, he didn't start in the Champions League. He didn't start in the League Cup. He didn't start against Fulham. Didn't even make the squad. Didn't even make the squad in the League Cup either. Played 63 minutes against Spurs. He's had essentially 3 games rest over the last few weeks, last 2 or 3 weeks, which is a lot of rest. You would hope that if he did have an underlying issue, and you know, apparently there's no surgery required. You know, it's a minor issue. This is what Eddie Howe's told us. Unless he is a premium capper, an absolute liar, speaking Capanese on us, then I think he should start, right? He should start. I'm not gonna transfer Isak out. I'll put it that way. There's no way I'd transfer him out at this point, and there's no way I'd transfer in Wilson either. So, I mean, who else are you gonna get this game week? I mean, Solanke maybe. That's the only real other forward I'd like to have this game week. Watkins and Solanke are probably the ideal 2 forwards this game week. And if Isak is, you know, if Isak was to be confirmed guaranteed starting this game week, I think he maybe even eclipses Solanke as a pick. Obviously, we don't have that. We don't have that information, and we won't get that information either. But it's an interesting thought that if you do get lucky and Isak does start, that could be real nice. That could be real nice. By the way, anyone asking about Nkunku, feel free to crack on. I will not be recommending that transfer though. I want to see him play some Premier League minutes before we talk about him starting. He's going to be eased in. I don't even know if he's going to start. Even if he does start, there'll probably be a planned substitution pretty early on in the game. You know, if you know, maybe he goes to half time, maybe he goes to like 50, 60 minutes. But I can't see him playing a full game in game week 18. I really can't. I would, and Wolves away, I don't think it's an amazing fixture anyway, so I think you can afford to wait one more game week before getting in the likes of Nkunku. I think Malo Gusto, arguably a similar situation. I think you can afford to wait one more game week. I do think this is a better fixture for Chelsea, Chelsea defender than it is a Chelsea attacker though. So maybe that sways it a little bit. I think Gusto, if he does start, he's definitely a better option than Aït-Nouri and Gabriel. So that would improve my team. It's a move I'm going to probably make anyway next week or at some point in the near future, assuming Haaland comes back ASAP. I don't know, man. I think I might make the move. To be honest. We'll see. We'll see how I feel closer to deadline. But I think I might just do the Aït-Nouri to Gusto move and then start Gusto and just see what happens. I mean, if we're totally honest, Gabriel, small chance of a clean sheet. You know, Man United did it against Liverpool last game week. Arsenal 4 weeks rest, top defence in the league. There's reason to think that Gabriel will, could get a clean sheet. There's reason to think Aït-Nouri could get a clean sheet. I think Gabriel's got a better chance of a clean sheet than Aït-Nouri though. But neither are particularly likely. So. But, all right, what odds are we putting? We're saying, like, what? Gabriel, 20% chance of a clean sheet. Aït-Nouri, 15% of a clean sheet if he starts. And then Gusto would be, what? 25, 30% chance of a clean sheet? And has the better attacking output than Gabriel. You add it together. And another good thing about Gusto, and this is always, like, a thing. I do think about this occasionally. I know it's, like, a minor thing. But sometimes it's nice to go for a defender who you think is going to get hooked before 90 minutes, because we've seen so many goals towards the end of games this season. Sometimes it's actually nice to get a defender who cheekily gets substituted off before the end of the game, before their teams concede a goal. It's an interesting thought. I am leaning towards doing this transfer. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Yesterday I wasn't. Yesterday I was thinking I'll probably just leave it. When in doubt, do nothing. That's like one of my mantras, I guess, in FPL. When in doubt, do nothing. But I might go against it. And it's probably out of frustration of recent game weeks. I've been frustrated last couple of game weeks. And I want to have some fun with it. And this move would definitely bring more fun to my FPL experience. It certainly would. It would free up cash as well. It's a move I'm likely to make at some point in the future, regardless. Particularly with Reece James out for so long. I kind of like it, you know. Kind of like it. A few people asking about Fabian Schär. It's unconfirmed, I believe. I'll double check that, but I was reading something before we started up the stream. I was catching up on all of the news to make sure we got everything, but somehow I've managed to forget the Fabian Schär one. I did see someone say that Livramento, can't remember who it was, FPL TT maybe, said that Livramento, they see him potentially playing at right wing, on the wing, which would be interesting. Let's just have a look and try and find where I was looking at the Newcastle news. So, where are we? Right. So, was it Fabian Schär hamstring injury? Or did I write it down? Was it glute? Oh no, I did write. I actually have it down on the ticker, apparently. Yeah, there we go. It's on screen literally right now. I didn't even need to go find out. I already wrote it down on my notes and put it on the ticker. Yeah, glute injury picked up this week, which, you know, there's a chance he doesn't play. I mean, I think Botman's his substitution was planned. So maybe Botman comes in, Botman play with Lascelles, Dan Burn can come in at left back, or Livramento can play there. I think Fabian Schär certainly is not a must play. He doesn't have to play. So maybe on that basis, he possibly gets rested. I would be a little bit worried if I owned Fabian Schär. I wouldn't be expecting him to start. But he's one of those players, I think he either starts or he isn't even in the squad. So I don't think he gets like bench appearance or anything like that. I mean, there's always a chance, but I think it's more likely that if he is on the bench, that he stays on the bench. So I wouldn't be worried about starting him as long as I had one player to cover him on the bench. I think if you've got a Gabriel or a Tsimikas on the bench, I think I'd rather take the Gabriel Tsimikas on the bench as a backup than, you know, like take a hit to remove Schär or anything like that. I would maybe do Fabian Schär out to Concert for free. That's probably as far as I'd go. JL, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that, my friend. We've got a super chat here from Kay. $10.99 pence. What are dollar pence called? Cents? Cent. $10.99. Couldn't just go to 11. I'm joking, of course. That's very, very generous. Thank you, Kay. And Kay says, hi, Mr. Beast. Okay. I mean, maybe on the wrong channel, but I appreciate it regardless. Hi, Mr. Beast. I have Lascelles, Schär, Maguire, Taylor, Gabriel with one free transfer. That is not an ideal back line. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not ideal. One free transfer. Any suggestions? I would maybe think about doing Maguire to Konsa. If you do Maguire to Konsa, you've probably got enough to get some points from your back line, but it's not an ideal back line. I think one of Lascelles or Schär starts. I don't think there's too much wrong with playing Taylor or Gabriel. I think it's not ideal to play them, but, you know, you could do a lot worse. I would start Gabriel ahead of Taylor. I would rather remove Maguire because I think Schär is still a decent-ish long-term option, whereas I don't think Maguire is going to be a long-term option, to be honest. So yes, if you can afford it and you want to go for Porro, yeah, fine. I don't think I'd go for Trippier or Trent though. I'm not massively keen on spending too much of the Haaland money. I know some people like doing that. If you really just want to go all out and splash the cash, splash all your Haaland money, then go for it. I don't think I'd buy Trent this game week. I'd wait one more week before doing that. Trippier is okay, but I don't think I would necessarily be massively keen to bring him in. Porro I like, cheaper than the other guys as well. So Konsa and Porro would be my main targets. If you're happy to splash a little bit of cash, go for Porro. If not, Esri Konsa. But it would be Maguire I'd be transferring out, I think. Another super chat here from JL says must buys for a free hit. Well, it's an interesting question. Let's have a look at the points predictions for Gameweek 18 by Fantasy Football Hub. See what they're saying. So they're putting Son Heung-min, Mohamed Salah, Ollie Watkins at the top. I think I would definitely triple up on Aston Villa, and I would go Ollie Watkins. I'd go probably Ezri Konsa, or would I take a risk on Cash since it's a free hit? I would maybe actually go for Cash on a free hit. I wouldn't go for a permanent transfer, but I might go for Cash on a free hit and take that risk. If you want to play it safe, go for Konsa. If you want to take a risk on a free hit, go for Cash. And I would say my third Aston Villa player would probably be Douglas Luiz. Fancy him for those set pieces, and penalties are always nice as well. For again, not a player I'd like to own one for long term, but for a 1 week punt on a free hit, yeah, I like him. I like him. So yeah, Son, Salah, Watkins, one of Cash or Konsa. You could go for both if you really wanted to. Douglas Luiz is a nice one. Jared Bowen would be in my team as well. I'd go for Solanke probably as my other forward. I'd probably go for Trippier. I'd probably go for Pedro Porro. Probably go for Cole Palmer because of his good form. I'd probably go either Dubravka or Leno in goal. One of those two. So one of them. If you want to go for Emi Martinez, he is an option, but I would rather maybe go for some more attacking players from Aston Villa. I mean, all attacking players from Aston Villa are going to be good picks this week. So, yeah, I think those would be your must-buys. You could sprinkle in some other players that you kind of like the look of, but yeah, certainly Son, Salah, Watkins, Konsa Cash, Douglas Luiz, Jared Bowen, and Trippier, I said as well. So we're already at 7 players. And then Cole Palmer, 8. Pedro Porro, 9. You've only got 2 players left. So I think I've probably covered all of the must-buys, I guess, for this game week. So there you go. Hopefully that answers that question. Athava says, is Palmer essential? I think he is as close to essential as a player can get. I really would say that one. Greg says, Bowen in, Soucek out for a hit. I don't know if I'd do that for a hit, no. Bowen's a decent pick, but I don't think I'd take a hit to bring him in, necessarily. Now, Man United do have a knack of keeping clean sheets, even though they always look like conceding chances. Gusto or Konsa? Konsa is the better pick. Like, that is just a straight up fact. I know people would have watched my video yesterday and say, oh yeah, Gusto must be an amazing pick. He's not. He's really, really not. He's super risky. He's high risk, high reward. He's not guaranteed minutes this game week. If you want to follow me down like the dangerous path, it hasn't been going too well recently, the dangerous path, I have to admit. But I'm not going to change the way I play FPL. I want to have fun with it, right? But when I said I'm thinking about bringing in Gusto this game week, that was not FPL advice. It really isn't. And I think I need to. I know I've said a lot about it a lot in the past, but I think I need to continue to hammer home the point that my team selection videos are not intended as FPL advice. My team is not intended to be followed along with or anything like that. I actively try and make it difficult for people to follow along with my team, because I don't want the responsibility of me doing your team for you. I don't want that responsibility. It's not what I do my team for. I do my team for me. And all of my other videos and all of my like kind of answering questions and stuff like that, that is more intended as advice. And by the way, it's just advice and not gospel. But Gusto is not advice. I'm not advising anyone to go for Gusto particularly. He suits my structure. He suits what I'm trying to do. And he suits my play style. So he's a transfer that suits me. That does not necessarily mean suits anyone else. Anyone else at all, really. Super specific to me. Another super chat from Ash. Oh, hang on, just cut off. Akshan. Akshan says, Alvarez to Solanke or Taylor to Konsa to cover Gabriel this week. We'll have to risk game week 19 without Haaland and 20 without Salah, or just roll this week. I mean, I think it's a completely valid risk to go without Haaland in 19 and maybe make the move in 20. I think that's absolutely fine to do that. Alvarez to Solanke you could do. I think I like Taylor to Konsa though. I do like Taylor to go. I think Konsa is going to be a nice long-term defender to own. I really do. I think it's a really solid transfer. Really do think that. People still asking me about Nkunku. If you want to bring in Nkunku, go for it. I am not going to recommend him one bit. You are not going to get any confirmation bias here. Look elsewhere. And you know what? You can look for any FPL content creator. You are not going to get any confirmation bias on the Nkunku shout. You won't get a single. Like, it's crazy. The last week, the amount of questions I've had about Nkunku, De Bruyne, and even Tony as well. People are asking me about players who haven't played a single minute in the Premier League all season. Granted, De Bruyne played a few minutes in the first game week, but I'm getting asked questions about players who are not playing minutes in the Premier League for months and months and months and months. I'm not going there. I'm not advising anyone to go there either. If you want to do that, that is completely on you. I mean, what we expected from Nkunku? Him to play a full 90 minutes straight away after injury and put in the best performance of his career? No way. Wolves isn't even a particularly good fixture. And Nkunku is going to take some time to adapt to the team and, build up his, match fitness. I don't know what you're expecting from him. Wait another game week. If he plays more than 45 minutes this game week, which I don't even think that is guaranteed, then we can maybe talk about him for next game week. But again, next game week is just a couple of days away. So it's really a tight schedule for players just come back from injury. It really, really is. If you want to do it for the vibes, Lewis says if you say go for it, if you say go for it for Nkunku, I'll do it for the culture down. I'm not going to tell you to do that. I'm not going to. You're not gonna catch me saying that. Akshan says, Tony, yes, Akshan. I had a comment on my my video today, like asking about my opinion on Ivan Toney. Mate, he is still suspended for what, another like 5 or 6 game weeks? Why are we talking about him now? It's way too early. I get that you're excited about, your Tonys, your Nkunkus, your De Bruynes. I get you should be excited about them coming back, but let them come back first, and then we'll talk about them. Surely, man. Surely, this is nuts. This is nuts. Giandro, nice to see you, my friend. Giandro says, Anderson of Palace or Tsimikas to Porro. I think I'd go Anderson to Porro. I don't really see Anderson as a long-term pick here. I think he is a player you've got to remove at some point. Tsimikas isn't a super long-term pick, but I still think he has a place to, a role to play in our FPL teams. Not my FPL teams, but I think Tsimikas has a role to play in a lot of people's FPL teams still. So, and I don't really see Anderson that way. So I would be more than willing to sacrifice Joachim Anderson, to be honest. Daniel Mecca says 2 free transfers. Bowen out, Kulusevski in. No way. There's no way I'd be removing Bowen right now. I think Bowen's a better pick than Kulusevski. I really do. I really, really do. Anyone asking about, Colwill or versus Konsa or Colwill versus anyone? Konsa is always the answer. Konsa and Pedro Porro are the 2 big transfer targets for this game week, in my opinion. If you need a new defender, buy Konsa or Porro. There's no one really else that I think massively stands out. There's a few differentials in there, but no one I'm super confident in. Like, even Trippier and Trent have their downsides for this game week. I think maybe next week we might be talking about them a little bit more, but not maybe now. Maybe not now. Rohit says Wilson or Solanke. I would not touch Wilson. I know I'm probably going to have to talk about the Isak and Wilson situation again. We'll circle back to that one in about half an hour's time, because I only spoke about Isak and Wilson like 15 minutes ago, so I'm not going to speak about them again now. Just so I don't bore the people who are long standers of the chat, people who are sticking around for the majority of the chat. Famous Bit says, who's the captain this game week? Should we do a poll? I think we can do a poll. Let's get a poll going for this game week. So, right, the poll is going to be, who is your game week 18 captain? And the options are going to be Watkins, Son, and Salah, since they were the big 3 in the 100 Experts video. I think those are the big 3. I think some people have been talking about Trippier as a captain shout, but I think I would be more comfortable with a Watkins, Son, and a Salah. I don't really like captain and defenders particularly, but okay, we've put in a captain poll now. If you guys want to vote on that one, feel free. We'll see what the public opinion is. I know where I'm at. You can probably see on screen already where I'm at with this one. And it kind of follows, it's probably going to follow exactly the trends of this public vote as well. But yeah, I think it's a fairly straightforward Watkins this game week. Like, Sheffield United concede a lot of their chances from central areas. Watkins, obviously, a top striker in good form and super easy fixture-ish. So, yeah, I would say that's pretty obvious. Like, Son against Everton, not an easy fixture, and I think Son will play on the wing again. Salah against Arsenal. Arsenal actually mostly concede their chances from the right hand side of their defense, so it will be Liverpool's left side. Arsenal, I know people think, oh, Zinchenko is Arsenal's weak link in defense, but actually Arsenal don't really concede many goals from that right hand side. Like, maybe we sometimes see assists coming in from the right hand side of the opposition, but it's mostly actually we more concede the actual goals on the left hand side of defense, which is interesting because that's you know, Ben White and Saliba's side, really. But maybe that's more to do with the crosses are coming in from that side of the pitch over to the left-hand side of the attack, right-hand side of the defence. So I think that is an interesting point when thinking about Salah as a captain. Arsenal don't actually concede many goals from that side. But that's not to say Salah can't get an assist. It's not to say Salah can't get a penalty. It's not to say Salah can't get a counter-attack if Arsenal push too far out of the pitch. But generally, Arsenal have defended very well this season. So, you know, even if they are going to concede, you know, a minimum chances on a certain side of the pitch, it's not Salah's side, and they don't concede that many chances anyway. It's not going to be easy for Liverpool to score goals. I have no doubt that they can do it. I don't think it's going to be an easy task for them. I think the whole potential of Salah is very, very low. I really can't see Salah, you know, getting a 11, 12, 13, 14 pointer or something like that. I can't really see that happening. Whereas Ollie Watkins, I can see Ollie Watkins getting a hat-trick or 2 goals and an assist or 1 goal and 2 assists. I can see that happening. He's done it before this season. This is the kind of fixture that he would do it on. So, yeah, I can definitely see Watkins getting multiple returns. Can't really see the same with Salah. Can, to a degree, see it with Son, but that's going to be game state dependent. So I don't think it's any guarantee. I don't think it's particularly likely. I just think Watkins is just the clear best captain. If I'm totally honest, yeah, I'm fully on board with the Watkins captain at this point. Fully on board with it. I'm not going to be changing that between now and deadline. I'm set. I'm done. I think most people will probably be feeling a similar way to me, to be honest. But there we go. So, Dammy Bob says, does Gusto start? I don't know if you think I'm Mauricio Pochettino. I am not. Do I look like him? But to give a serious answer, I don't know. I think it's nowhere near a guarantee. It's definitely nowhere near a guarantee. So don't buy Gusto. I'm not advising anyone to buy Gusto. Don't buy him. He's too risky. It's too risky for me to advise to pick up Gusto. So no more questions on that one. Atharva says, should I bring Watkins and Palmer or Pedro Porro? I have neither of them. I would try and get at least one of those 3. I think Watkins is the most important player to bring in for this game week, followed by Palmer. Porro is also a good transfer in, but I think the Watkins and Palmer moves are more important. Probinor, nice to see you, my friend, says, out of Lascelles, Saliba, Gabriel and Cash, who to bench? Who would I bench out of those guys? Well, I play Cash, I play Lascelles, and I'd play one of Saliba or Gabriel. I'd probably play Saliba. There you go. Lascelles, Saliba, and Cash. Should I go -4 to change one of them? No, I wouldn't take a -4 to change any of them, no. The only one that's probably worth, in general, taking a -4 to remove is probably Cash. But I wouldn't do it this game week because I think Cash is going to start. And Lascelles, he may be worth taking a -4 for at some point in the near future. But he's like a super cheap defender. You can just bench him. You know, it's fine to just bench Lascelles. Whereas Cash, I think I would transfer out at some point. But not this week. Saliba and Gabriel, they're not ideal this week. But I would want to own those guys longer term. So, Yeah, definitely would not be taking a -4 for any of those proper no. None of them. Mad says Diaby to Richarlison. I have one free transfer. It's a solid transfer, my friend. It's a solid transfer. I like it. Yep. I would be feeling happy and confident if I did that. The one concern is, what if Diaby does play? There is a chance that Diaby plays against Sheffield United. And if that happens, you are going to feel disappointed. And I think Richarlison against Everton, I think he's decent, but I don't think that's guaranteed results, given that Everton have been so good defensively recently. I don't think that's guaranteed results. So, I like it. I like it long term. I certainly like it as a long-term transfer. Would I be desperate to do it? No. Would I do it for a hit? No way. But if you fancy it, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. A couple of people asked about Almiron as a captain. I mean, Luton do concede their chances down Almiron's side of the pitch, but I have seen some people predicting Almiron's not even going to start. I don't know where they've got that one from. Maybe it's just Almiron's played so many games recently. Don't know. I mean, if I had Almiron, I would never captain him personally. So maybe that answers your question. I'm not even sure if I'd buy him. If I had him, I'd play him, don't get me wrong. FPL Esto says, what about Powell for Burn -4 that I took? I guess it's as good as transfer as any. You're getting out a player who's not going to get minutes, and one that probably is. I don't know if I'd do it for a -4, though. Don't know. Nicole says, hi, Dan, I apologise for the Isak thing last week. You don't need to apologise, my friends. You really, really don't. I know loads of people said, oh, Dan, it's so obvious that Isak wasn't going to start in game week 17. And it was like utter nonsense, hindsight rubbish. And I was very frustrated at the time because Isak had just been out of the squad. I didn't see it coming. I had no way of seeing it coming either. And a lot of people were kind of claiming some sort of hindsight that, oh, it was so obvious Isak wasn't going to start. Yet nobody told me that. I mean, people said, yeah, there's a chance Isak might be benched, which sure. I completely get that. And I completely understand. But yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I was very butthurt about Isak not being in the squad last week. I really was. I have to hold my hands up. I need to, do a bit better composure. Better composure. But sometimes the emotions get better of you in FPL, and we've certainly seen that with the whole Solanke thing this week, haven't we? Emotions can run strong, they really can. So no dramas at all, Nicole. But anyway, Nicole says, I got 77 -4 in game week 17. That's very, very good. Team is fine, but I have no goalkeeper this week. Flecken or Areola to who? I mean, I'd probably take out Areola, because Flecken's got a guaranteed double game week coming up at some point in the near future, which will be nice. Areola to Dubravka if you want to keep it cheap. Areola to Leno if you are happy to spend a little bit more money. Although, would I want a Flecken and a Leno? They're kind of expensive, aren't they, as a pair? But Areola I'd be happy to sacrifice for Dubravka. If you're going for Flecken out, then you've got an option there, Dubravka. Or saying that, is Dubravka a long-term move? And Newcastle are going to get a new goalkeeper. There is a chance that happens as well. I don't actually think Dubravka's done too much wrong, though, since he pulled the shirt back on for Newcastle United in the Premier League. I don't think he's put a foot wrong, really. Looked pretty good. So I don't know, Nicole. There's options there. But yeah, certainly I'd go for one of Leno or Dubravka. Leno if you're happy to spend money, Dubravka if you're not. Got a super chat from Yo-Yo says, Iwobi captain? There's no way. Even if I had Iwobi, and I would never own Iwobi, I don't think. I don't think I would anyway. I don't think I'd captain him. No. It's just like, if we've got Watkins right there, man. Watkins is right there. Like, Iwobi is a decent footy player, don't get me wrong. But is he captain material? I'm not sure he is. I don't think anyone at Fulham is particularly captain material. I mean, they've done very well recently, but I don't know. Not convinced. I'm really not convinced. Really not convinced. AZ says, hey, Legendary Dan. Well, thank you very much. Happy holidays. Is Gabriel, Porro and Simicast with Taylor on the bench good enough to not get a -4? Thanks as always, Legend. AZ, I'll be happy to answer that, my friend. Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. Would I take a -4 for it? No, I wouldn't. I think after this game week, when Arsenal and Liverpool are no longer playing each other, I think you're going to be in a much better position. Much better position. Arsenal and Liverpool have some decent fixtures coming up in general. Liverpool mixed, but they have Burnley next week. I think you're fine. I think you're fine, man. Wouldn't take a -4. Like, if I had a free transfer, I would maybe think about trying to bring in not Pau Torres, Ezri Konsa. But, yeah, not for a hit, no. I mean, what are we expecting? Even if Konsa gets a 6-pointer, you've taken a -4 in order to do that. Gabriel Simicast's probably looking at 2-pointers anyway. You've got Pedro Porro, so you've got one of the nice defenders in at least. It's all good. Right, Irish guy says, Alvarez to Solanke or Kabore to Gusto. Thoughts, my G? I don't know. I like Alvarez as a long-term pick, and I don't particularly like the Gusto to... Look, Gusto is a super risky pick. I don't think anyone who thinks Gusto is going to solve all their problems is probably going to be disappointed. He's not going to be nailed. Even after this game week, he's not going to be super nailed. He's better than Kabore, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Alvarez is a player I'd like to own after this game week as well. So if I had Alvarez still at this moment, would I bring him in? No way. But I don't think I'd transfer him out. I think I'd like to hold it. I think I'd rather play with 10 men than do Alvarez to Solanke. That's probably a little controversial. I think in maybe over the next 5 game weeks, 6 game weeks, Alvarez outscores Solanke. I'm looking to get Alvarez into my team at some point soon as well, anyway. So I'm kind of, in many ways, envious of Alvarez owners. Don't think I would sell him. Kabore to Gusto, I guess you could, but it's not a magic wand. It really is not a magic wand that's going to solve all your problems. So, yeah, be aware before making that move. So, yeah, in short, Irish guy, I don't love either of those transfer moves, my friend. I don't love either of them. Sorry. Lucas says, Merry Christmas, Dan. Merry Christmas to you as well, Lucas. Hope you're all good, my friend. Thanks for all your hard work and tons of great content, which is not only very informative, but also entertaining. You truly are my best mate for Fantasy Premier League content. Lucas, you're a legend, my friend. You really are a legend. Thank you, Lucas, so much, man. Thank you. Yeah, just glad you're enjoying the ride, along, and hopefully enjoying FPL, enjoying FPL and enjoying football. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. Christmas is around the corner. 4 days. I can't believe it, man. It creeps up on you. I only finished my Christmas shopping yesterday. Is that too late? Don't know. SA says, any specific tactics for the Cups? Honestly, you're asking the wrong guy. I've never done particularly well in the Cups. Never, ever made any moves or any... I've never even... I look at my Cup opponent, but I never make transfer moves or do anything particular when doing the Cup. The Cup is... If you enjoy it, fair enough. It's not really for me. I'm not really bothered by it. The likelihood of, going through every round or whatever is just pretty insane. I'd rather get a good FPL rank. So, yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't have any specific tactics for the Cups. I guess look at your opponent's team and see if yours is better. I don't know. I really don't know what I would do. See a few people asking about selling Gordon for a hit. I would not sell Gordon for a hit. No. Personally. If you want to do it, fair enough. Richard Walker, nice to see you, my friend. £5 super chat says, Nkunku and Tony for a -4. Yeah, you pretty much summarised what the questions I've been asked this week, Richard. You really are, man. Have a good Christmas. Thank you, Richard. You too, my friend. Hopefully we'll I'll be catching up with you guys before Christmas anyway. We've got one more deadline before Christmas, right? I'm not mistaken there, am I? Let's see. Game week 19 deadline. Oh no, wait. Oh no, I'm totally wrong. I mean, we'll definitely do a stream. I said definitely. We'll probably do a stream between now and the 26th. But yeah, we'll do a Boxing Day deadline stream, of course. And it gets a little bit techie after that because it's my birthday. It's my brother's birthday. I've got plans to go out on a pretty heavy one on the 29th, which is a yearly tradition. We have a tradition. A bunch of us who live in my area. It's a bit of a pub crawl. We call it the Golden Mile. And it's 12 pubs, 12 drinks between, I don't know, like, it's like not even that much time. It's like between like 3 or 4 p.m. and like 10 or 11 p.m. It's pretty grueling. It's like 30 minutes if you have the walking involved as well. It's pretty grueling. 12 pubs, 12 pints. It's too much, actually, really. I mean, I've never completed it. I've never completed the 12 pubs, 12 beers. It's just too hard. Sometimes you've got to skip a pub. Sometimes you want to move on to the shorts. But that'll be on the 27th. So how I will... no, the 29th, sorry. So how I'll feel on the 30th for a morning deadline stream remains to be seen. I can't handle my alcohol as well these days. Plus, at that point, I will be past my birthday and feeling very, very old. But I'm sure we'll have some streams over the festive period, and indeed. Neela Hit says, bench Trippier, Castagna, Porro, or Saliba. I would bench... I guess I'd bench Saliba. I guess. I think all of the others have at least a decent chance for clean sheet. Yeah, I think I'll bench Saliba there, Neil Hit. You're in a good position, my friend. Athava says, is it okay to sell Isak for Watkins or just take the punt on Isak to start? It's definitely okay to sell Isak for Watkins. It's a good long-term move in particular. It's a good long-term move. It's okay to do it. Would I be in a massive rush to do it? No. But if I didn't have Watkins and I had Isak and that was my only way to get to Watkins, I'd definitely be thinking about it. Definitely be thinking about it. Scott says, we all know hungover Dan makes the spiciest decisions in FPL. Yeah, I don't really want that. I'm going to probably have to try and lock in my transfers before deadline on that one. Or maybe just go a week without making transfers. I don't know. I don't trust myself with half a brain hungover, to be honest. Zaza says, how old are you, Dan? Too old, too old, too old. Too old to count. I'll be 31 in a week. A week today, I'll be 31 years old. That's unreal. How did I get that old? Where did the time go? Where did the time go? I don't feel very old. Or do I? So in some ways I do. I'm waiting to mature though. Physically and emotionally. This doesn't seem to be happening. When you think when you're younger, by the time I'm like in my 30s, I'll be a different man. I'll be grown up. I'll be sensible. I'll be doing normal adult things. I'll probably have 10 kids, a mortgage, and a job for life. Still waiting on a few of those things. Oh, it'll happen. All right, here for FPL, the super chat says, I have Gordon and Cher with Gabriel and Archer on the bench. Is Cher to Gusto / Consa for a -4 viable? I would not do Gusto for a -4. There's no way I would do that. There's no way. Like, I know I'm thinking about getting Gusto. It is super team pick. Oh my god, I really did not. This is like, this is why being an FPL content creator is dangerous, because you can say as many times as you like, this is not FPL advice. This is for my team only. I would not recommend you guys do this. And people will still say, yeah, but you are doing it, so maybe I will as well. No, don't do it. Don't, like, it is a super risky move. There's no guarantee of results, and I'm only doing it because it suits my personal team and my structure and my balance. Yeah, but I might also do it. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop buying Gusto. Stop it. It's a risk. Huge risk. Let me take on this burden myself. I don't want to drag you down with me. I really don't. So no, I would not ever take a -4 for Gusto. Ever. There's no way I would do it. No chance. No way. I would maybe take a -4 for Consta under extreme circumstances. But would I do that? I probably wouldn't do that anyway. I'd just have Gabriel come off on the bench. Yeah, no. Here for FPL. My answer, the short answer is no. I would not take a -4 to remove Cher to Gusto or Consa. I would not do that personally. Couldn't do it. Lucas says, wait after 40, it gets better, Dan. I was terrified by my 40th birthday. Oh, man, don't even talk to me about that one. I'm far away enough to not have to worry about that, I think. Apparently I've missed the super chat. Let's Let's have a look. Did I? Oh, Ewan, I'm so sorry, my friend. Ewan says, news on share. I have a free transfer. Shall I use it? If you have a free transfer, share to a concert is a solid transfer move. So, yeah. Yeah, if you got a free transfer, yes. Would I do a hit for it? If you can cover it, no. So, yeah, hopefully that helps. Derek says, Saliba to Trippier and Isak to Solanke for a -4. I don't think I'd do that for a -4, no. I don't think. But, you know, it kind of does... It kind of does depend on your structure and stuff and, you know, your haul-in plans as well. I don't think Trippier is a particularly safe transfer move this week. It has a good chance of doing well, but I don't think it's particularly safe. Isak to Solanke. If Isak starts this game week, I don't think that's improved your team. So I don't know. I don't know, Derek, if I'm honest, my friend. I don't know if I'd do that. Not for a -4. I'd maybe do it for free. It's an interesting one. Don't know. I don't know. Maybe look, there's every chance that I'm like massively biased as an Isak owner, but I don't think I am because I've been pretty consistent when I spoke about Isak. I've been saying, please, yes, I have him. Would I buy him now if I had the choice? No way. I wouldn't buy him. But would I sell him? I don't think I would. Jonathan says, what makes you confident that Isak will play? I don't think I'm super confident, but the things, and we'll talk about Isak again, the things that are suggesting to me that Isak will probably play is that Wilson has just come off the back of an injury, has played 490 minutes in the space of, 10 days, which is a ridiculous amount of football to play for Wilson, even when he's at peak physical fitness. He just doesn't do that. Apparently there's no new injury for Isak. He is just being rested. And we've also got a Gordon situation. We've got a Joelinton situation where they're not guaranteed to start. Almiron could do with a rest as well. Isak might be required. So that's why me and a lot of Newcastle fans are predicting Isak will start this week. Now, is it a guarantee? No. I think someone in the chat said earlier, 80% they reckon. I don't even know if I'd go as far as that. I'd probably say like at least 70%. But I don't know. Athava says, hey Dan, keep up with your legendary FPL content. I will do, my friend. I certainly will. Did I miss something else? I feel like I missed something else in there. I don't know. Whatever. FPL Esto says FPL Focal got some 90% info about Newcastle, apparently. When did Newcastle play? Are they Saturday, aren't they? So we're 2 days out. We're a little early for Newcastle news. They do play, I guess, in less than 48 hours. It's interesting. Well, what was the news? That Shea, Gordon and Isak are 90% out. All of them. Who's going to play? All right, well, I mean, if you want to act on that, then absolutely go for it. I'm not massively feeling it, to be honest. I mean, I'm like 90% out. That's pretty specific. Interesting. I don't know. Make of that what you will. But I don't think I'm gonna act up on it personally. But if that gives you the confidence to remove a Share, a Gordon, or an Isak, then do it. If that gives you the confidence. Matt says Alvarez to Slanky to bench Simicast or bank transfer. Probably just bank the transfer, to be honest. Like I said, I kind of like Alvarez for the long term. Kind of like him. Mustafa says it's just an opinion. What Oscar's news was just an opinion. What from what, a fan? Because fan predictions reckon that the Isak's going to start. I don't know, but again, maybe it's Kofi. I'm not gonna. If it turns out that Isak is not starting or not in the squad, I don't think I'll feel that bad about that this week, because I can definitely see it coming. But is that enough to convince me to make the Gusto move to try and get some cover? Or is Nori? Is Nori just as good? Don't know. Mukhtar says who to start, Gordon or Darwin? I would start Gordon if I had him. I would start Gordon. We should do a bench list, shouldn't we? We should probably do a bench list. Right. Joshua says Power's out. I've already taken a -4. Should I get in a replacement for another -4? Have you not got anything on your bench? I'd rather play a Gabriel with Simicast, a Taylor than take another -4. James says, Dan, what are your plans to bring in Alvarez? I have some ideas, but I'm not going to really lock it in now, to be honest. But I think I'll possibly upgrade my third forward at some point. Nigel says Chelsea are a bit whiffy right now, Dan. I don't know. They got a good result last game week. They got a result, went through against Newcastle in the end. I think Chelsea played quite well against Newcastle as well in the League Cup. So I don't know. Are Chelsea whiffy? I think they're pretty decent at the moment. Pretty good. Quinn says, what time's the deadline? We've got 1 hour. We've got 1 hour to go. Jeremy says, 1,720 votes in the poll. Only 87 likes. Let's hit the like button, please. Oh, that's such a good point. Guys, if you can click the like button, if you can click the vote button, you can click the like button. Surely you can do me that favour. I don't think we are at 87 likes, though. I think we're at like 200 likes. Well, I haven't got it on my screen, though. But I think I saw it was like 200 before. iBag Jamie says, would you ever collab with other FPL YouTubers? Yeah, if they wanted to, I'm sure. But I don't know. I don't know if other people would really want to do that, to be honest. Right, bench list. Sorry. Bench list. We haven't done one today. We haven't done one. And we need to. We need to do a bench list. Let's get it up. Let's get it going. Right. Come on then, guys. Who are you thinking about benching this week? I'll start throwing in some players, but also you guys shout out some names. I'm going to put Gordon in there. I would definitely start him if I had him. But I don't know. If you have these players, then you start them. Remember, guys, that the same thing's going to happen again. If I put Gordon on this list, everyone's going to be like, what? So you think Gordon's going to start? No. I think if you have Gordon in your team and you're not selling him, you should start him. Please listen. Please, guys, please listen to that disclaimer. If you have this player and you are not selling them, then I think you should start them. It's not that I'm saying I think they will start. Oh. I know there is no way we're going to get through this chat without someone asking that same question. It's going to be in like 5 minutes. Someone will just join the chat. Let's add some players in, though. I think I'll play Gabriel ahead of Simicast. I don't know. I think that might be my Arsenal bias, though. Who to buy instead of Gordon? Palmer or Richarlison? Put Trippier above all of these guys. Lascelles, you start. Fabianski, all right, he can go on the bench list over there. Trent is fine, but I don't think he's anything massively special. I would put Darwin behind him, though, to be fair. I might even. Given the form, I might even put Darwin even lower than that. Nah. I'm still going to put him in. Still going to put him there. Right, we'll put Saliba next to Gabriel. Colwill, I'd probably give him a go. If I had him. We'll put Conser in somewhere. Actually, I should think I would play Hechan over Lascelles. Conser, I would put... Is Conser a better pick this week than Trent? Surely not. Nah, surely not. Right, Burn, Gusto, Archer. Right, Gusto is going here because I want to stop encouraging people to buy him. We'll try and do a two birds with one stone situation here. Right, Burn, he can go next to Lascelles. That's easy. Archer, I don't know why people play Archer, but he can go there. Cash, I would definitely start. I probably prefer Cash to Trent this week. No cap. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put Nkunku down here as well with KDB and Tony. There you go. Sterling is okay. But I don't like Sterling as a pick, generally speaking. Is he better than Darwin, though? Possibly, isn't he? If we're honest. Or would I put him ahead of Concept? No, I don't think I would. Taylor, start in a worst case scenario, I guess. Liveramento's a little risky this week, so I think I would put him here. He is risky. Although, if Fabian shares out, is he any more risky than Lascelles? I'm gonna stick with this one. I'm gonna stick with this one because he will get minutes off the bench. That's the problem. Right, who else got Areola? I guess he goes next to Fabianski. They can't both play. Right, who else? Gahey. Do people still have Mark Gahey? That's nuts. I guess you could play him, but probably don't. There we go. Who else is a popular pick right now? Porro. Oh yeah, you play Porro. I'm going to put Pedro Porro here. Start Turner or Areola. I'd start. I mean, you might not have a chance by the end of the game, but I still think I'll start Areola. Oh, there's a lot of players that I didn't even know people owned right now. So Diaby's coming out a lot. I think I would possibly start Diaby, just take the risk on that one. I'd probably take a risk on Diaby if I had him and I wasn't selling him. Sajed says, do you think Areola will start? No, not really. Not really. I mean, yeah, it definitely could happen, but I would be nowhere near confident of an Areola start. Patrick says bench one, Cash, Porro, Trippier, Colwill. I believe all of those four players are on the bench list. So the answer is on screen for you already, my friend, Patrick. Bailey. Yes, I'd play Bailey. Like him. Kulusevski. I mean, like, if you've got Kulusevski, you just bought Kulusevski. And if you just bought Kulusevski, are you really thinking about benching him? Really? Or do you just want to see him on screen? I'm not putting Kulusevski on the bench list. It's not really a question. Like, there's no one seriously considering benching Kulusevski this week. Is there? You know, a cash hit with Bowen. I can't understand that one because the Manchester United bias in the FPL community is absolutely crazy, more crazy than anything else I've ever seen. So, of course, there will be tons of Manchester United fans convinced that Bowen is going to be a terrible pick against them. I tend to disagree. So I think we'll put Bowen on here. Like, maybe here. Bowen would be a top pick for me this week. I do like him as a pick. Allison. You play Allison ahead of any of these goalkeepers. Have I spelled Allison wrong again? Oh no, have I forgot how to spell Allison again? I think I got it right. Leno and Dubravka. Yes, yes, yes. Now we're talking business. Anderson can go next to Gay here. Wow, there's a lot of really kind of random players. Kudus is outperforming Bowen? You mean Kudus scored more FPL points than Bowen last game week? That's what you mean. I mean, if you have Kudus, go for it. You know, play him, of course. But I prefer Bowen for a pick long term because Kudus is going to go off to the African Cup of Nations in 3 game weeks' time. I don't think Kudus has been outperforming Bowen at all, though. I've watched West Ham games. I looked at the numbers. I don't think that's true. He just scored more points last game week. Right. Anyone else who is being said a lot? Pranav says, have Ariel and Edison. Should I take a -4 and get who? Could do. I mean, Edison is not a goalkeeper I'd want to own anyway. So you could always, you know, Edison out for Leno or Dubravka sounds like a sensible move. A few people saying Mitoma. He's an okay pick, but the form has just not been there. I struggle to put him any higher than this. Carl says Richarlison. I'm not putting Richarlison on the bench list. You're not actually thinking of benching Richarlison, are you, Kyle? You're not. Oh, Watsman's here. Why did you put Gordon in start? I did not put Gordon in start. Nowhere on this screen does it say start. Nowhere on this screen does it say start. Or does it? What about the small print here? No, there is not a single one of them. Not a single sausage. Right, Wilson. A few people asked about Wilson. I mean, if you have him, you start him, right? Petrovic. I guess here? Maybe? Maybe he's slightly better than Allison. What will you do with Isak? None of your bloody business, Miller. None of your bloody business. That's what I'll do with Isak. Mohammed says, why is Gordon a start? Mohammed. I'm tired. Will Bailey start? Probably. Don't know for sure, but probably. The Chelsea's on there already. Dingra. Do people have to Dingra? I wouldn't put him any higher than Mitoma. Thoughts on Pickford? Would not be looking to start Pickford this game week. I would maybe put him here. Or would I? No, you know what? I am actually going to put him above the West Ham goalkeepers. Why is Tony on the list? Don't know. People are asking me about Tony this week and De Bruyne and Nkunku. Don't ask me why. I kind of understand Nkunku, I guess. Lewis says Allison is 2 L's, not 2 S's. Right, well, I screwed it up again, didn't I? Oh. No, it's not. That does not look right. No. It's 2 L. Right. A Google search will reveal our answers. The most annoying thing is that I'm right. Yes. Absolutely. Palmer and Solanke on the list? Nope. You are not considering benching Palmer or Solanke, so they don't belong on the bench list. Eric says, any updates on Isak fitness? Well, Oscar Focal reckons that he's 90% not starting, but I can't verify that. You know, it's not my source. I don't know how good the source is or whatever. I mean, I could check my DMs and see if anyone's messaged me anything. I don't think they have. No, they haven't. I don't know. Can't verify that. Be interested to see what the source was, if it's reliable, I guess. But also at the same time, we have 2 days. We have 2 days until the game. Can't really see anything online. I don't know. To be honest, I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything coming out of Newcastle anymore. I'm just going to roll with it, to be honest. Jack says, put Gusto higher. No, I don't want to. You put Gusto higher. You do your own bench list and you can put Gusto higher. How about that? No, I'm not moving. He's not moving anywhere. He's staying at the bottom. In fact, I'm even going to put Haaland above him. There you go. He doesn't have a fixture. How about that? Harry Bow, $5 super chat. Nice to see you, my friend. For a -4, buy Bailey for Bernardo and bench Darwin, or buy Conser and play Darwin, or be sensible and not take a -4. I don't think I would take a -4 there, really. No, I don't think I would take a -4 there. No. I mean, I could maybe buy a Concert, but again, not for a -4. You know what? I'm going to say no to both of them. Be sensible. The advice is to be sensible. Leave the stupidity to me. Linus says, hey, Dan, wishing you and the family a Merry Christmas. Thank you very much, Linus. That's very, very kind of you to say. And yeah, Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend. Merry Christmas to you as well. Veer says, hi, Dan, Areola, Gabriel, and Gahey / Kabore. This is just... what am I reading here? I'm right. I need to try and figure out what I'm reading, Veer. Is this your team? So Areola, Gabriel, Gahey, and Kabore. Is that your defence? And then in midfield you have Palmer, He-Chan, Gordon, Son, and Salah. And Watkins, Isak up front. 1 free transfer. Thoughts? I mean, sell Gahey to Konsa? Seems reasonably obvious, I think. I mean, you might have some problems with Gordon and Isak, but... I guess we'll see. Guess we'll see. Sesk says I missed your super chat. I'm so sorry, Sesk. I'm so sorry. Oh, there you are. Right, Sesk says, hey, Dan, thoughts? Bowen to Richarlison? No. I really do like Bowen as a pick. I like Richarlison as a pick as well. Bowen is a player I wouldn't necessarily transfer in, but he's a player I'd be very, very happy with to have in my team for the long term. So, no, I would not transfer Bowen to Richarlison personally. I like Bowen. I like Bowen. It's a good pick. I like Richarlison as well. But nah. But yeah, Veer, I would go Gahey to Konsa, Captain Watkins, you're good to go. Like, I mean, you're going to have some problems. Possibly. But 1 free transfer is not going to fix them. Isak, you could transfer to Solanke if you wanted to. Gordon... I mean, if you can afford to go for Richarlison, then maybe. You've already got Palmer. I don't think Gordon to Richarlison is a must-do transfer necessarily. John Johnston says, I'll change Son to Bowen when Son goes off to Asia. I'm thinking a similar thing. I'm actually thinking a similar thing. We'll see. Andrea says, Merry Christmas to the best content creator out there. The alcohol marathon has started. Maybe for you, my friend. Not for me quite yet. Maybe it will start soon. I don't know. Jack says, okay, fine, I'll start Gusto. You do whatever you want, mate. I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting involved. You do what you need to do with your FPL team. You can do what you need to do, my friend. None of my beeswax. Kamal says, hi Dan, who would you prefer between these two Aston Villa right wings, Bailey or Diaby? I prefer Bailey. Aiden says, what's the FPL site you use for suggestions? Do you perhaps mean Fantasy Football Hub? Because if so, if it's this one that you mean, where I have like the points predictions and the Opta stats and stuff like that, then it is Fantasy Football Hub. And, well, if you really are interested, you can get yourself a completely free trial to Fantasy Football Hub by signing up using the link in my description. The second link in the description, get involved with Fantasy Football Hub. And if you do, then... if you do end up paying for the full subscription because you really love it, then you end up supporting the channel because I get paid a commission. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone signing up for Fantasy Football Hub via the FPL Mate link. You genuinely are really supporting the channel. Yeah, genuinely. It is a huge part of what keeps the channel going. So a massive thank you to Fantasy Football Hub themselves for supporting the channel, and thank you guys for supporting Fantasy Football Hub to support FPL Mate. I think we've said enough on that one. Oh, dearie Mary me. Let's get the bench list back up. Right. Matt says, I bought Pal early. Do I do a -4 to get console or play Gabriel? Just play Gabriel. It's done. It's done. I don't think I'll be taking -4s to get defenders. Honestly, if you have the likes of Gabriels and Simicasses to play, you can just play them instead. I don't think I'd take a -4. Also, Hon says, Gusto or Consa? Consa. Consa. It's Consa. Don't buy Gusto. Stop buying Gusto. Stop asking me about Gusto. I'm not... He's bottom of the bench list for a reason. Terrible, 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 terrible pick. You should never buy him. If you want to buy him based on your opinions, then go for it. But if you're asking me, should I buy Gusto? The answer is no. No, it isn't. Do not go there. Do not go there. Do not. I'm not getting involved with that one. I'm not. I'm throwing my hands up. I'm taking a step back. You do you. You do you. Love the show. Why Lascelles so low? He's not really that low compared to the other, like defenders, because obviously a lot of the attacking players are naturally going to go ahead. So really, Lascelles is only behind Burn, Conser, Trent, Cash, and Pedro Porro and Trippier, which we would probably all agree are better defensive picks this week, right? Ivan says, Gusto, I did it already. Love the advice. That it wasn't advice. Ivan, it was not advice. You did not buy Gusto because of my advice. You bought him because you wanted to. That is what happened there. All right, Veer says, hi, Dan, thanks for the help. Which 3 from Trippier, Kabore, Gabriel, Porro, or Gahey? Which 3? What to play? Trippier, Gabriel, Porro. I think all of those players are on the bench list other than Kabore, right? We can throw Kabore in there immediately. And you've got a full... You've got all of your bench consideration players. There you go. Kabore is on. Sorted. Easy. Curtis says punt at Sterling. If you want to, I don't think I'd go there. I don't think I'd go there personally. Max says, sorry, Dan, Solanke or Wilson really struggling to buy or to keep. I don't think I'd buy either of them necessarily, but if I had to buy one, I would buy Solanke. That's what I would do. What else have we got here? Harif says bench Palmer, risk being rotated. Okay, that sounds like copium to me. That sounds like the talk of someone who doesn't have Palmer, or the talk of someone who doesn't want everyone else to get Palmer's points. There's no way you should be benching Palmer. Crazy, crazy stuff. Ivan says, nah, Dan, just trolling. Fair enough, my friend. Good. Irish guy says, why is Gusto so bad? Gusto is rent-free in your head. Super rotation risk. Not guaranteed minutes. He's rotation risk long-term. Chelsea, I don't think, have great defensive numbers. There's lots of reasons why Gusto is not a good pick. There's other reasons why he is a good pick. But I'll let you decide on those ones yourself. And if you come to the conclusion that you want to buy Gusto, then go for it. He's not rent-free in my head. You guys are rent-free in my head. because because I'm really, really worried about you blindly following me down a path that I cannot guarantee you will come back from alive. There you go. So, Jack says Poch has been playing centre-backs at full-back instead of Gusto. I mean, in fairness, Gusto has been injured, so that's why that's been happening. I do think Gusto comes back into the team and plays probably the majority of the games. I just don't know when that's going to start. I think Gusto is a player you wait one more game week before bringing him in. I think you wait one more. Is Trippier a captain option? I don't think so massively, personally. He is an outside punt at the very best. He's okay. He's okay. A-Track says Adingra to Palmer for -4. I think I'd consider that. Yeah, I think I would consider doing that. I think Palmer is just such a great FPL pick that I think he's one of those players I would take a -4 for. Ganish says Saka or Darwin. You'd have to back Saka on form, wouldn't you? Not that Saka's been in amazing form, but I mean, better than Darwin recently, right? Demarja says Mikolenko if he's fit. I think he has a chance of being fit, to be fair, this week. Yeah, I think he has a decent chance. I don't think he's not been ruled out or anything like that. He's got a solid chance to start him. Would I play him if I had him in my team, though, against Spurs? Probably not. Probably not. Lucy says, I know nothing about football and followed your advice every week and coming top of my family league, beating my dad. Winner. Well, Lucy, I'm very glad to hear it. There's nothing quite like being humbled in FPL by someone who knows nothing about football. Believe me, my wife is doing very well in FPL recently and has been beating my scores most game weeks. But she's still not beating me, so that's the important thing. But Lucy, stick around and we'll get you the grand prize. We'll get you the grand prize by the end of the week. Don't you worry about that one. But an interesting question, and this goes to anyone out there who maybe is not, who hasn't historically been into football, but has started playing FPL because of friends and family. Has FPL got you more into football? Do you now watch more games than you did before? Do you go and look at highlights and results? Do you, are you more involved with football since playing FPL? I mean, I can say from personal experience, I certainly watch more football since playing FPL, properly. Because I only really started playing FPL properly about 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe. Before that, I'd play it for a bit of fun, but I don't know. Finno says yes. Wrestle Rumble the World says yes. Lindo Kule, Imo, Imad, Buds, everyone's saying yes. It's a gateway, isn't it? FPL is like a gateway to watching football. It's amazing. It's amazing. You don't really know what you're missing until you really are involved. There's no way, before playing FPL as much as I do now, I'd be watching some of the. Last season, for example, I was watching Brighton every single week, full games every week. I loved it, loved watching them. Before FPL, there's no way I would do that because I wouldn't have my eyes opened to how nice Brighton were to watch. This season, I'm watching Spurs every game week. I'm an Arsenal fan, for heaven's sake. But I watch Spurs every week. They're enjoyable to watch. They really are. And I think without FPL, would I be watching Spurs every week? Would I be enjoying watching Spurs? I don't know. I know I'm probably going to get a load of hate for saying that Spurs play fun football as an Arsenal fan. But honestly, they kind of do. They kind of do. It's good stuff. Lucy says, no, I used to be into football as a kid, but now I'm just competitive. I mean, I guess that works as well. You seem to be the only person in the chat who doesn't watch more football since playing FPL, but there we go. Management Treble says FPL is a gift and a curse. Oh, so true, so true. Linus with another super chat here. Linus says, was going to sell Solanke. Lol for Haaland next week, but is he worth keeping now and just go 3-4-3 now? Bournemouth have an upcoming double. Well, I mean, you know, I guess we'll... Linus, let's just see. Let's see. Because Haaland's still not back in training. So I think we play that one by ear. Linda Kool-Aid says, mate, you killed my name. Oh, no. Have I done it wrong? Linda Kool-Aid? Is that... Oh, God. How should I say it? Sid Fisher says, need 0.3. Who to sacrifice? Porro, Trippier, Tsimikas, Saka, Son, or Gordon? The obvious one this week is probably Gordon, but... I'm not comfortable with any of those. I'm not comfortable with selling any of those. But I think out of those, if I had to sell one of them, I'd go for Gordon. You know, there's some decent players who could downgrade him to. Decent-ish, I guess. Lost Hobbitot says, has Morgan made her changes? Yes, she has. And she's still not got Mbumwe in her team. Let's put Mbumwe on the bench list. Where should we put Mbumwe? Should we put Mbumwe at the top? And actually now, because people who weren't there, they'll just be confused. I'm going to put Mbumwe above Nkunku, though. How would you spell Mbumwe? I think it's like that. Maybe like Mbumwe? Oh. Since... this is going to sound so mean, but since Morgan said... Mbumwe instead of Mbummo last week, I've been calling her Mbimbo, which I think is an excellent nickname. Oh, you're such an Mbimbo. Oh. It's all in good fun, though. It's not in a genuine mean way. Bookworm Gem with the $4.99 super chat, but no message attached. No message attached. Bookworm Gem, if you've got a message, please make sure you put it in, because that's a very generous super chat. Thank you so much. And Matthias says, opinion on Havertz, but it's been scoring consistently. I mean, kind of. Yeah, a little bit. But against Liverpool, you're not going to bring him in now, I don't think. I don't think you bring him in now. I mean, I maybe want to monitor. Maybe want to monitor. I don't know if I would go there necessarily, though. To be fair. Trubar says, Powell for cash? No. Or Saka for Kulusevski? No. Neither. Roll that transfer, my boy. Cash, good chance of starting this game week. And Saka, I think he's still a decent pick. I think he's a decent... he's a decent pick, Saka, still. I don't think Saka's like anywhere near a player to sell, really. And I honestly, like, I know I've been getting crap for this all week. Kulusevski is a decent pick, but he's not really near to a must-buy. Not really that near. Mr. S just said, who to swap Saka for? No one. Saka is not a sell. It's just not. Sell He-Chan to Richarlison. I mean, you could do that one. He-Chan is not a long-term pick, as we know. He's going to be disappearing off to the Asia Cup in 3 game weeks. And his fixtures in the next 3 are not great. So, yeah, you could sell He-Chan to Richarlison. I could see that as an option. I can see him as an option. Is Son worth a -4 hit? Would sell Saka? No, definitely not. Now, Son, another player, he's going to be disappearing off in 3 game weeks. Sean says, Kalu better than Johnson. There is not a single... It's going to sound really harsh, but I've not seen a single top FPL manager, content creator, or anything say that Richarlison is worse than Kulusevski, or Kulusevski is better than Richarlison. It seems to be almost unanimous that among people who kind of know their stuff, that Richarlison is a better pick than Kulusevski. And I'm sure there is going to be people who are very good at FPL who do genuinely believe that Kulusevski is better than Richarlison, and hey, maybe they're right. But everything I've seen from other people's opinions, everything I've seen with my own eyes, all of the numbers and the stats that I've seen, all point towards Richarlison as a better pick. And I am taking price into consideration there. So if you think Kulusevski is a better pick than Richarlison, crack on, go for it. But I would probably suggest that most people, I'm not saying everyone, but most people will probably be picking Kulusevski over Richarlison on the simple basis that he scored more points last game week. And people do this every single game week. We see it every week. Whoever scored the most points last game week, they are the most popular transfer in. There's no rhyme, no reason, no logic behind it other than that player scored the most points last week. Obviously, they're going to score points in the future game weeks, which is often not the case. And by the way, I cannot emphasize enough, the Kulusevski is still a good pick, but there are, in my opinion, better picks, and I will not budge on that one. Well, I mean, I won't budge on that one right this second. In a few game weeks, I'm open to changing my mind on that one. You have to open your mind and change your mind and adapt. You know, if Richarlison starts to get his numbers up a little bit more, show some consistency, Richarlison kind of dips in form a little bit or whatever, then yeah, I'm totally up for changing my mind. Oh, Sean says you said Johnson. Oh, damn. Well, in that case, Sean, I'm just projecting on everyone else who's been telling me Kulusevski's better than Johnson. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Kulusevski is a better pick than Johnson. He's also like 1.5 million more expensive. what do you expect? Salah's a better pick than Saka. Yeah, Watkins is a better pick than Solanke. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Monkey D. Luffy says, Hwang signed a new contract, he will bang. Yeah, maybe for the next 3 game weeks, but then he's off. He's disappearing off to the Asia Cup. So the only goals he'll be banging in would be the ones for South Korea. The only ones. But yeah, I think in general, I think at this point, if you don't own the players going off to Asia Cup and AFCON, if you don't own Son, Salah, Hwang, Kudus, can't really think of anyone else off the top of my head, all of these players, would I be buying them at this point? No way. Obviously, you know, there's good arguments to keep them until they do go off to their international tournaments, but I don't think I'd be buying them. You know, a lot of people asking about, you know, we've got Anmo in the chat, for example, Gordon to Son for a -4. Just no way I'd be doing that. Not now. Michael says, add Saka to bench list. We can do that. I'm going to put him here. Oh, here. I think. Would you sell Hee-Chan now? Not for a -4, I wouldn't. You could, if there's a like a midfielder you really want to get into your team, then I would consider it. But no, I wouldn't. I don't think I would feel any massive desire to do that, really. You can. Taylor says, do you rate taking Hee-Chan out for Palmer? Now, that is a separate situation, but that's more of a Palmer thing. If you don't have Palmer, you know, you've got to sell someone to get him. I think Palmer is super important. So, yeah, I would sell Hee-Chan to Palmer. Yeah. Mukhtar says, Super League Fantasy, the next move. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I suppose. Sia Bonga says, dude is brutally honest, so refreshing to watch. I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, I have to admit, it would be a lot easier. Because I know, like, the problem is, I know a lot of people do come to these streams, not for an honest opinion, but for confirmation bias. They want to say, this is what I'm thinking as a transfer, what do you think? And they want me to say, it's amazing. You are quite possibly the greatest FPL manager of all time. You're a genius. How did I not think of this? Do the transfer. You're amazing. You're awesome. And don't get me wrong, guys, you are amazing. You are awesome. But some of your transfer suggestions, they do stink a little bit. Most of you, no. But some of them, a little bit stinky. And that's just one version of the truth. It's just my opinion. No more than that. All right, Paul says, Gordon to Richarlison or roll. I would be tempted by that transfer. After, you know, the Oscar apparent leak, which I am not going to verify because I don't know anything about it. After hearing that, I would be tempted to do that, yeah. Ben says, do you think Isak will start? I'm like 50-50 at this point. Yeah, my confidence is waning, but we're so close to the deadline. I have other plans with Isak anyway, so I'm probably not going to act upon it. But if you don't have Watkins right now, Isak to Watkins seems like a good transfer move. I think I wouldn't mind Isak to Solanke as well. It's okay, but I don't know. Like, if we look at forwards predicted points, it kind of goes Haaland, Watkins, And then it's quite a big gap in predicted points after that. Like, Solanke's only really tracking around the same as Cunha and Evan Ferguson, like similar. So, Forest away under new management bounce. It's still a good fixture. Fulham have been in good form. Spurs have been in good form. Liverpool's not a great fixture. West Ham, and then again after that, away from home. They're okay fixtures, but they're not like... I think if you were going to get Solanke, you probably should have already done it. You should have done that weeks ago. I should have done it weeks ago, but I didn't. Have I missed the boat? Maybe, maybe not. But what's more important for me is getting Haaland back in my FPL team. That is the most important thing for me. And I'm going to do that by selling Isak to him. So, if you are not planning on getting Haaland back immediately, or you've got other plans to get Haaland back, then sell Isak. Go for it. Why not? Well, there's no one really standing out as a replacement outside of Solanke. You can maybe go for Gabriel Jesus, but would you really go for that for Liverpool away? I don't know. Probably just wait one more week, because you're looking at a difference really between, you know, someone coming off your bench and a 2-pointer from Gabriel. I'm not expecting Gabriel to score against Liverpool away. It could happen, but I'm not expecting it. Jokel says, Richarlison is so recency bias, a few goals in 40-plus games. If you want to look at a sample size of 40-plus games, go for it. Go for it. But Richarlison isn't recency bias. It's a change of system bias. When you notice a change in system, then if everything changes, then the situation has changed, and you can't take those previous games into consideration. You know, like, let's think of another example. Like, who's like another decent attacker? Cole Palmer. Right, okay. Cole Palmer, when he signed for Chelsea, starting for Chelsea, did really well. You don't say, well, I'm not going to pick up Cole Palmer because in the 40 games previous to this, when he was kind of getting bench appearances, or when he couldn't get a start yet, he wasn't ready for a start, or back when he was playing for Man City, in all of those games, he didn't do that well, so I'm not going to buy him in FPL. Of course you don't say that. You look at the new information, the new situation, the system has changed, the situation has changed. You use that new information, you make a decision based on that. 40-plus games is lovely for data, but it's not always applicable. I don't think in this situation it is applicable to Richarlison. There's a new system in town, and it suits Richarlison. He's found his form. He's found his place in the team. Things have changed drastically since he was basically playing as a backup for Son on the left wing, or a backup for Kulusevski on the right wing occasionally, which is what he was last season. It's totally different. So there we go. Dylan says, can you add West Ham defenders to the bench list? Oh, do I have to? I don't think I'm going to add them to the bench list because it's already so full. But I guess they'd be pretty low. You've maybe put them around the same place as the Crystal Palace defenders, I guess. Probably, roughly. Imran says, will Palmer start? Yeah. There's no reason to think he wouldn't. Cole Palmer not on the bench list? No, because you should not be even thinking about benching Cole Palmer. You really shouldn't be thinking that. I mean, who am I to tell you what to think? I would never consider that personally. I don't think he is worth a place on the bench list. He shouldn't be a consideration. Imran says, start Leno or Dubravka. Fortunately for you, Imran, the answer is on the bench list. Add Semenyo, please. Did Semenyo get injured? He only played 45 last game week, didn't he? What happened there? Can't remember now. No injury. Oh, no, he didn't play 45 minutes. He played 57. Oh, he's fine then. No injury. Okay, good to know. Would I play him against Nottingham Forest? I mean, he's better than Archer. He's probably better than a lot of these defenders as well. So I'd consider it. But is he better than some of these other guys? Not so sure. Let's put him here, I think. Yo. I must miss some super chats apparently. Oh, you know what? I probably did. Right, allow Kaina has been a member for 1 month. Thank you very much for being a member for a month. I do appreciate that. Sid Vicious says, my goalkeepers are Turner, Kelleher. Yikes. And currently have 3 Newcastle players. Do you think Kelleher to Petrovic move okay, but I'll lack the money to bring Haaland back for about 0.6. No, not really. You can just play Turner for now. Turner is going to start. It's not the worst fixture against Bournemouth. And, like, new manager as well. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't think Turner is like a horror. If you're really going to compromise other potential moves, you can compromise the Haaland move by selling Kelleher or upgrading Kelleher, then I don't think I would do it. I think I would roll with Turner, but that's just me. If you're not comfortable with that, you think it's too risky, then of course it's down to you. Ben Story, nice to hear from you. Hi Dan, I need to make a goalkeeper transfer. Who's the best to bring in? I'm thinking Martinez, Dubravka, or Leno. Yeah, you're spot on. Those would be the three I'm thinking about as well. Martinez to me is a little bit too expensive because you can just get Concert at 4.5, so I don't think I'll go for Martinez. But Dubravka and Leno, I definitely like. I think Leno, I would possibly, if I was not worried about money, if money was no concern, I think I'd go towards Leno. But Dubravka value for money is just nuts. I currently have no Newcastle or Villa defenders. I wouldn't let that factor into your opinion too much. I think I would go for Leno if you are happy to spend the money, but if not, Dubravka is decent as well. Fishing Pat, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel as well. So always good to get some new members going. We do love it. Daniel says, thank you for all the FPL content this season. Thank you so much, Daniel. What a great name you have, by the way. No, my absolute pleasure. And thank you very much for the super chat, the support, and the love. It's very much appreciated. It really, really is. Will Luca Dina start? Some people think he will. Some people think he won't. Lots of people think Moreno's going to start this week. So I wouldn't be happy. Optic Avenger says, wait, do you think Isak could actually start? Yeah, I think he could start. For sure, I think there's a chance. Ahmed says, Bailey or Diaby or Bowen on a wild card. Bowen is probably your best long-term safe pick. So if you're looking for that sensible long-term pick, Bowen would be the guy. Jonathan says, between the 4 cheap Luton players to go in the third attacker slot, which would you choose? None. No, I would not be looking to play Luton attacker. Would not be looking to do that. Lionel Messi says, hey, what do you think is the best free hit team? You missed my super chat. Did I really? I'm so sorry, Lionel Messi. I apologise, particularly if you are the real Lionel Messi, which of course you are not. The best free hit team, I spoke about it a little bit earlier. I did upload a video for the best free hit team earlier this week. So feel free to go check that one out. Abdo also claiming I missed super chat. Is this some kind of unethical life hack I'm seeing? I'm going to go back through my super chats just to make sure, because there's a suspicious amount of people saying I missed the super chat. A suspicious amount. Oh no, Abdo, you are not capping. You really did. I apologise. Would you sell Mitchell or Livramento to buy Concert? I think I would sell Mitchell, because he's more expensive. Now let's see if I can find the Lionel Messi super chat. I cannot. I've been rumbled. I've been absolutely rumbled. I've been scammed. I had to answer a question out of the goodness of my heart. Just kidding, of course. Right, Senesi on the bench list. Okay, right. Yeah, you seem keen on Senesi on the bench list, so I guess he can go here? Maybe? I think. Braulio says, hey Dan, thanks for the content. Need to make a defensive transfer. I'm leaning towards Porro, but is Trent a better pick? I would prefer to go for Porro, particularly this game week. Diaby on the bench list. Diaby is already on there, which is good. So I think most people, most players are probably on there at this point, I think. What attacker would you bring in as a one-week punt? Solanke, maybe, I guess. Damien says Norman. Norman Piper? That's an old school reference. Very much an old school reference. Gordon out. If you want to sell Gordon, like if you've got a straight transfers from Gordon to Palmer, I would definitely do it. But is he a must sell? Is he guaranteed to be out? There's no guarantees in footy. There's no guarantees in footy. Ahmed says Bailey or Diaby. I think I'm leaning towards Bailey these days. Long term, though, I'm not convinced by either of them, if I'm totally honest. If I had them, I would play them. I would not be confident enough to actually buy them, though, I don't think. Unfortunately. Would you sell Areola for Dubravka? Yes, I would. Areola alternate to start. I would start Areola. I mean, the bench list suggests start Areola, but I think you'll probably end up getting Turner. Angela says, any early team news yet? The problem is our early fixture is Crystal Palace versus Brighton, and I don't think too many people are too hooked up on in the Crystal Palace and Brighton FPL world, so don't know. Paul says, why has Powell's Dorito of Death got spicier? Because, unfortunately, Paul, he has been ruled out as definitely not playing in Gameweek 18, according to Unai Emery. Sad, bad stuff. Duarte says, just bought Gordon for He-Chan. Oh, my word. That's risky. Arif says, when is the AFCON? AFCON and Asia Cup are in January. So, kind of soon. 3 game weeks. In 3 game weeks' time. On the 4th game week, the players will be disappearing off. Agus says, Trippier captain. I don't know, man. Not massively keen. Should we end the captain poll? We only got 10 minutes left. I guess we'll leave him. Should I make that transfer? Should I make the Gusto transfer? I might do it. We'll see. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Nothing else. Anyone asking me about Gordon? I don't have concrete news. FPL Focal reckons he's 90% not starting, but I can't corroborate that. I'd probably be like, it's like 50-50. If you have an obvious player to sell Gordon for, I would do it. If you have a free transfer and an obvious move you want to make, a midfielder you really like, I would do that move. Would I be taking hits? Would I be buying players I didn't really like just because I felt like I was forced to make a transfer? I don't know if I'd do that necessarily. So, toughie. Real toughie. Anyway, Saka on the bench. Saka is already on the bench list, I believe. Ganswood says AFCON 2024 starts on January 13th. Yes. Yes. We'll only have 1 game week before that, though, in January. Sadly. I'm not going to ask. So I can't keep answering Gordon questions over and over again. It's got to get boring at some point. What if you have Gordon and Isak? I would move the player out that you have the replacement for. If you've got a ready-made replacement for Gordon, do that one. If you have a ready-made replacement for Isak, do that one. I'd base it on the player you're bringing in rather than the player you're taking out, if that makes sense. So if you really like the look of a Palmer or a Richarlison, then that suggests remove Gordon. If you really like the look of a Solanke or a Watkins, then you remove Isak. So I guess it's just up to you what you prefer. Ram says, Hola Dan, I don't know why, but I guess you're not seeing any of my chats. I think often there is a lot of chats. So yeah, it's hard for me to see everything, but you just say thanks for the Tavernier differential. A bit of stutter there. Thanks for the Tavernier differential. No, it's no problem. No problem. I liked him as a differential. It's a shame I didn't go for him myself. I would be feeling probably happier if I did have him. But we move. Mr. X says, I don't get why a knock is equal to a real injury in football. I think when people say a player has a knock, they don't literally mean they've been knocked. It's usually just a kind of a generalized term for a non-specific minor injury. Like, it's not like someone's knocked him, giving him a knock. Like, oh, I've been knocked. I guess I can't play footy for a bit. Oh, you knock over the bowling pins. Like, just football players stand at the end of a bowling alley. Oh, we've been knocked. Been knocked. I can't play anymore. Am I missing super chats again? I am, aren't I? Right. Sid Fisher says, for only this game week, Douglas Luiz, Bailey, or Diaby, I'd feel most comfortable with Douglas Luiz for this game week only. That is where I would feel most comfortable. Whether that's actually going to be the right answer is another question. Martinez says, play 2, bench 1, Castagna, Trippier, Gordon. I mean, I'd start Trippier and Gordon. I would start them. We've got to see what happens. Worst case scenario, you get an okay player off the bench. Worst things that could happen, right? Stephen's also asking for replacements for Saka. Are people really that desperate to sell Saka? What? Am I missing something? He's bad value for money, but I don't think he's a bad pick. Start Gabriel Consa, says Arjun. Oh, that's so easy. And it's on the bench list as well. Sam Cott says, in your opinion, who would you take out, Gordon or Isak? Again, it would be entirely dependent on who I wanted to bring in. I would make a decision based on who I wanted to bring in, not who I'm moving out. So if you have a player in mind that you'd like to bring in, are they a forward or are they a midfielder? If they're a forward, you take out Isak. If they're a midfielder, you take out Gordon. I would start from the transfer in rather than the transfer out when making that decision. Right, best 1 week punt forward outside of Watkins, probably Solanke. Probably. I think both Isak and Wilson are maybe a little risky, but you could maybe try it. You could maybe try a Wilson, but I don't think I would be too confident in that one. Haytam says, show team gang coming. Oh, yeah. They're coming. They're on their way. Adam says, roll or sell Trippier. Not happy with his form. I wouldn't worry about his form too much. What counts as FPL points? If he's making individual mistakes, yes, sometimes that's going to lead to clean sheet losses, but, you know, you may as well say that Dubravka and Byrne and Botman and everyone else is out of form as well, if you're going to say Trippier is out of form. In FPL terms, anyway. So it wouldn't bother me. I would not be selling Trippier. He's not going to be out of the team permanently, is he? Sander Robson says, selling Isak for Gabriel Jesus. Yes, if you want to. There's worse transfers to make. Ross Martin says, where would you put Zinchenko? Have him and Saliba. I'd put him right next to the others. I maybe put Zinchenko slightly ahead of Saliba, but not really massively. Should I throw him on? I mean, the text is just getting so small now. Let's just get rid of all of these guys at the bottom. Just the joke's over. The joke's dead. Let's throw Zinchenko in. Here? I guess. Probably. I don't know. Richarlison, if you have him, you start him. Why is Tsimikas over Anderson? Because Crystal Palace are not a very good defence. Taylor says, hey again, Dan, should I sell He-Chan or Gordon to get Palmer in? Yes, probably Gordon. At least it eases your mind. Move with Mike says, start Darwin or Gordon, have Watkins / Solanke. I would start Gordon and hope for the best. Start with Gordon, hope for the best. If it goes wrong, you've got Darwin to come in. That's not all bad, is it? Start Saliba or Branthwaite? I would start Saliba ahead of Branthwaite. Let's put Branthwaite in here somewhere. I think I put Branthwaite here. Well, actually, honestly, maybe even lower. Nah, actually, no. Everton have been good defensively. I'm being too harsh. So there you go. Assume all Everton defenders are like by Branthwaite. So assume Tarkovsky. I think Mikolenko I would put higher though because of the attacking output. So I'd maybe put actually Mikolenko with decent chance to, you know, do some attacking business against a weak Spurs defense. I maybe put Mikolenko here. I take the risk. I'll just take the little risk there. Why not? How about Iwobi? Not really feeling it. Not really feeling Iwobi as a FPL pick. It's okay. I think there's just other guys I prefer. I mean, it's out there, isn't it? Blizzard says sell Isak for Solanke if you want to. If you want to, yes. If it suits your structure, if it suits your plans, it's a very reasonable transfer to make. Pokeme says Martinelli. I don't know. He'd probably go like somewhere in this area. Solanke's not going on the bench list. You play him 100% of the time. You play him all the time. Calvert-Lewin. If you have him, I guess you could start him, but I wouldn't be massively keen. João Pedro. If I had him, I would possibly start him. Yeah, put him around the same as the other Brighton boys. Start Senesi or Saliba. I think I put Senesi slightly higher than Saliba. So yeah, Senesi is on there. He's down here. If you can see that. Raya. Can I quickly put Raya on the bench list? It's probably too late at this point, to be honest. I would put Raya here. Or would I? No, I'll put him ahead of Pickford. Could put him here. There we go. Do you reckon Gordon and Darwin starts? No. I think at least one of them gets a bench. Right. Chris Wood on the bench list. He would be pretty low, I guess. Remove Saliba to Porro from -4. No way, and you're too late anyway. Matthew says Pau Torres. He is injured, confirmed out for game week 18. Deadline is about to pass any second now. Maguire to Trent from -4. I think, yeah, the deadline's passed. The deadline's passed. So many questions coming in so late. Guys, you shouldn't be leaving these. You shouldn't be leaving these big transfer decisions to the last second. You shouldn't be leaving them so late. But we're locked, guys. We're locked. Game week 18 deadline has passed. We're locked in. We are locked in. The question is, did I make a transfer this week? It's a valid question. Does anyone care? Probably not at this point. By the way, guys, I know I usually stay on for an extra half an hour, but because we've been streaming for 2 hours today, and I'm going to go out, and also I haven't eaten today, and I mean that literally. I haven't eaten anything today, which is really, really bad of me, and I need to do that, like, soon. I'm going to go eat and, yeah, have a shower and stuff, and maybe go for a quick beer, because why not? It's a fun Thursday, and it's almost Christmas. But yeah, guys, we're locked in. We're locked in. Quick phone call. Bring. Hello. It's Malo Gusto, and will you be joining me and my FPL team this week, Malo? Will you be joining me? Really? Oh. Okay, right. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good to hear from you, at least, I guess. All right. Well, I'll catch up with you in the next few days then. Okay. Bye. Sorry, guys. That was just Malo Gusto on the phone, coming in to let me know that indeed he made it into the team. Yes, I made a transfer. Yeah. It's a vibes transfer. I'm not going to lie. It's a vibes transfer. I think it'll be a nice pick long term. I can't really see myself regretting this one. I'm not saying it's going to work out this game week. I don't really expect it to work out. I don't really expect it to work out in the this game week. But I think in the future, long term, I think this could be a decent pick. So, yeah, I've freed up the money to get Haaland back into my team. I've got a nice cheap defender in. I think we're all right. We'll see what happens this week. And then after that, Who knows? But if nothing else, it's a fun transfer. It's a fun transfer. And we're all about having fun over on the FPL Mate channel. But, guys, like I said, we are going to leave it there. We are going to leave it there. Thankfully, we don't have to talk about Malo Gusto anymore today. We'll talk about him again when you guys are bantering me when... what days do you play? Sunday. When Chelsea play on Sunday, I will enjoy all of the banter that comes my way, which it inevitably will be. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right, guys, thank you for watching. Good luck this game week. Hope you do really well. As long as you don't do better than me, I'll be very happy. And yeah, I will see you probably Saturday for the next video. I don't think I'm going to make a video tomorrow, to be honest. Seems a little bit soon before, like, when only one game has been played. Not even a particularly interesting game. So, yeah, we'll wait until Saturday before making videos. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching once again. And I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.